Yeah, so I gotta change the oil on my girlfriend's car. It's a 2015 Nissan Versa Note. And the first thing I like to do when I'm changing oil is take off the filler cap. Oh man, it's tight. And just put it there so that you're not gonna accidentally like close the hood and drive off without putting the filler cap back on. Safely jack up the vehicle. If you're in a cramped garage like this, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So. Yeah, and always use a solid floor jack. Never go under a vehicle that's only supported by a hydraulic jack unless you want to die. It's kind of hard to pay attention to what I'm doing and filming at the same time. Alright, so there you go. That guy drained. Once it drains, we'll just take it off. Okay. And make sure the old gasket from your oil filter isn't still stuck to the housing. And they tell you to put oil on the gasket of your new filter, but look how much oil is on there. When you put it on the filter, like the gasket's gonna get covered in oil. So now just clean that up a little bit so it's not all dripping mess. Nissans always use a 14mm, so either 14mm socket or wrench. And remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yeah, let's move this filter before that makes a mess. That copper guy, that's your gasket. If it's all fucked up, replace it and make sure it didn't fall out or anything when you took out the drain plug. Well, it's hard to get it in the hole when you can't see. So make sure you got your ratchet set to tighten. I like to make these pretty tight. You don't want it falling out. And if it's like a Honda or something that has an aluminum oil pan, you got to be careful because you can like crack the pan or strip out the threads. But these guys, these are steel, so it's a bit harder to do that. You can go pretty tight and not have to worry about fucking it up. Okay. And now, of course, we got to put the new oil in. Like I said, this one takes about 3 or 3.5 quarts, so let's not pour oil all over the top of the engine here. And I'm just going to put in 3 quarts and then stop and check. So don't remember the exact amount. When you've put in the right amount of oil, the dipstick is going to read a little bit above the full line before you start the car because the oil filter is still empty. So you'll see that when you actually start the car, the level will go down a bit. Well, in the car, you really only have to run it for about 10 seconds. If that, because you just need to fill up the oil filter. Some people let it run for like 5 minutes. That's completely unnecessary. So now we can double check the level. And now you can see where the oil level is on the dipstick. And technically they want you to check the oil level after the car's been sitting for like 10 minutes because all the oil will drain back down into the pan. So if we were to do that, the level would actually be higher. It'd actually be at like the max line. But right now it's a little bit below. But that's fine. So you're good now. And just the last thing is you want to check under the car and make sure that it's not pissing out oil. And that's just water because it's raining outside. Yeah, so there's no oil. So you're good.